Welcome to Nightique, a new season and a new year. Well, we are trying to get in shape this new year, and we need to get good advice, and Dr. Quinn is with us, Timothy Quinn, and he's going to talk about diet, and he's also going to talk about exercise. His brother, who is a fitness expert, is here to actually do some demonstrations with some cardiovascular gear and things you can do around the house to help you stay in shape. We're on in Meridian on Cozy TV and also in Hattiesburg on the CW, as well as JSU TV, Comcast 14 in Jackson. So we welcome everyone to our program and this new season of Nightique. Also, we're posting the shows, the entire shows, at Nightique, NIGHTIQUE.com. You can also see the shows there. Back with Timothy Quinn next.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. Well, Dr. Timothy Quinn, Doctor, thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me.
You know, at the end of the season, at the end of the year, we had a lot of fun doing some shows with Dr. Quinn. Mm-hmm. You know, you are a great communicator, because not only are you a physician, but you can communicate, and you have a great desire to communicate with people and let people know the right thing to do to stay healthy.
Well, I mean,
it shows. It comes out.
We talked about it. It's something that I really believe in and take to heart. You know, people out there, a lot of people don't know that it's important to be healthy. You know, they feel good. You know, they don't have any problems, so they're good to go. But unfortunately, many, chronic medical conditions like high blood pressure, some people with diabetes, they don't have any symptoms. And
is that right? For diabetes, you don't have symptoms?
For some people, in the early stages, when they first develop it. And the deal is, with a lot of these chronic conditions, by the time you develop symptoms, in some cases, irreversible damage has already been done. Maybe they've suffered some kidney damage or some heart damage, but the bottom line is, that's why it's so important for people to be aware of their bodies, not just go off of what they feel, but go to the doctor and get checked out, make sure you're healthy.
We read about and hear about diets in other parts of the world. Let's say in China or maybe Japan. Now, their diets are becoming more westernized.
Right.
But in the years before, when they were not westernized, when they ate natural things indigenous to their world, they had a lot less of the types of illnesses that we get in America commonly, like cancer and heart attacks and things like that, correct?
Well, the bottom line is, most medical conditions are what are multifactorial, meaning that multiple factors contribute to one getting that disease. Now, the number one, thing are your genetics. Now, you can't do anything about your genetics.
How much does that really play into it? I mean, are genetics that important versus other factors like diet and things like that?
Right. Well, the deal is, you can't really just put a number on it, because every human being is different. Like, say, for instance, you see a child that is a little bit taller than his other classmates. You can make an assumption, and in a lot of cases be correct, that either one of his parents is a tall person. So if you have one tall parent and a parent that might not be tall, might be a little short, well, you probably got a 50-50 chance that your child will be tall or short, or maybe he'll be in the middle, but you can't really just put a definitive answer to that. But the deal is, if you're somebody out there that has high blood pressure or diabetes, and you marry someone that has high blood pressure or diabetes, then there's a much higher likelihood that your child will have those conditions as they become adults.
Or could it be that both of their parents ate the wrong things, which contributed to those tendencies toward that disease, and so now they carried on that tradition of eating the wrong things, and now that's why they've got it?
Well, let me give you a really good example, okay? Now, when I was in medical school, now this is a true story. After my first semester, the dean wanted me to meet with him. So I went into his office, and he said, "Quinn, you're not gonna make it, son." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're not really passing anything." And I was like, "Are you serious?" The bottom line is, I wasn't doing well. Now, was I studying? Yes. But I wasn't studying like medical school studying. Now, when I was an undergrad, pretty much straight A's. I did some time in the military before college. I was disciplined. I would get out of class and go study for 3 hours, maybe then go hang out with my frat brothers, do some Greek shows or whatnot. But the bottom line is, when I got to med school, I was trying to do the same thing. Now, this is an interesting story. One of my best friends in med school, his name was Stephon. Now, Stephon's father was a neurosurgeon, and his mom was a cardiovascular surgeon. Brilliant people. One of his grandfathers wrote one of the books that we were studying in anatomy. I mean, this guy came from, generations of brilliance. My parents, on the other hand, they didn't even go to college. Nobody went to college in my family. I was like one of the first ones. So just remember that now. Here's the deal. When we, Stephon and I, we used to hang out, go out and have fun. We studied, but we would go out. But, Stephon really didn't study as much as I did. But at the end of the first semester, he was doing okay, so he continued to go out. Well, after I met with the dean, I told him, I can't go out no more. I got to focus on schoolwork. He was like, "Oh, Quinn, don't worry about it. I know you don't have no money. I got you, man." He would pay because he just had unlimited money. I was like, "Stephon, I can't roll no more." That was it for that, right? So for the continuation of the next 3.5 years, he continued to party, hang out. He'd fly to Miami, New York. But me, on the other hand, I had to buckle down and just study around the clock. When we got to the end, what kind of grades do you think Stephon made?
I would imagine mediocre.
Straight A's.
Straight A's.
What kind of grades do you think I made?
Well, I would think you did well.
I did okay. I'll just leave it at that. Now, why is it I studied around the clock, graduated, not at the top, but I graduated. Stephon hardly ever studied, made straight A's, got neurosurgery. Why did he have such good grades and he didn't really study that much?
Are you going to say genetics?
Genetics. He came from generations of brilliance. Me, on the other hand, I came from generations of people that just did okay, got a job at, a job that you didn't have to have a college degree, just average people. But the deal is...
You think that plays that much of a part of it?
Oh, yes. Genetics are real, man. But the deal is, I took what I had and I worked hard and did everything I could. So let's say my parents would make anywhere, my parents and, aunts and things would make around $20,000 to $30,000. When I graduated as a family doctor 10 years ago, my first, year's salary was $140,000 with a $10,000 bonus. So, so I was able to take my situation, work very hard and do all the right things and do better. Now, I wasn't Stephon, because he graduated, he got orthopedic surgery. I think he got $600,000 with a $100,000 sign-on bonus, but he had more to work with because he had the genetics to do well. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you are someone that has high blood pressure, and maybe your parents had high blood pressure, maybe your father had a heart attack, well, you really need to, adapt some healthy lifestyle changes because you already had the deal stacked against you. As opposed to, like, I have a patient right now, he eats whatever he wants. He doesn't really gain a lot of weight. He comes every year for his physical. He's one of my good friends. He's sort of overweight a little bit. But every time his blood pressure is super low, his cholesterol is low, his glucose is low. But he does not exercise. He doesn't eat. He said, "I don't need to do all that." But when I go into a history with him, all of his parents, he does not have anyone he knows to have a history of high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease. So he's got genetics so that, he's just not predispositioned for those problems. Not to say he won't get it later, but the bottom line is you have to be aware that your genetics will have an impact on your current health situation.
Okay, well, as we begin the new year, I mean, we all have been through the month of December and the month of November and many of us have eaten too much.
Right.
And some of us are trying to control ourselves at this point.
Right.
Okay, so here we are, new year. Let's
Right.
talk about some healthy ways to get started in the new year.
Well, the first thing you got to do, like I said, is take into consideration your genetics. If you have a family history of people that are unhealthy, that means you have a higher likelihood of developing these problems. So you really have to be adamant about eating healthy and exercising. So let's talk about the diet. Most people say, Dr. Quinn, what is a good diet, right? Have you heard people talk about all these different diets?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think I know, because I've been in the gym for years, you know, in the early morning before I go to work.
Right.
I kind of have a general idea, but let's get some advice from you about a healthy diet,
Right.
and what not to eat.
Well, here's the deal. Because, you know, I write for the Jackson Free Press, and I just finished an article. The deal is, first of all, every time you get ready to eat, you need to stop and just ask yourself, is it healthy? And chances are, every time we eat unhealthy, we know it. I mean, am I telling the truth?
You're telling the truth.
Right.
We know whether we ought to really be doing that or not.
We know. You know, I walked in the break room the other day, and one of the nurses that works with me, she's got this New Year's resolution about losing this weight. And I walked in the break room, and she looked up at me, big box of Popeye's chicken. And she was like, you got me, Doc. I said, what happened? She said, but the bottom line is, we know when we're eating bad.
My mom sent a fruit cake for Christmas, and every time I'd eat the fruit cake, I was feeling guilty.
Right.
I was thinking.
So, number one for diet, the general rule, ask yourself, is it healthy? And chances are we'll know. You know, if it's like cakes, desserts, just stay away from that stuff, you know? Or if you do get it, get a little piece of it. Like, don't eat the whole, just eat small portions, you know, because you don't want to just stop cold turkey, because you might go into withdrawal, you know.
Right.
So just get small amounts, you know what I mean? But now, one thing I do is I make sure I eat 5 times a day, small meals throughout the day,
Right.
and it speeds up your metabolism.
Right.
You know, you don't want to skip breakfast, skip lunch. You want to try to eat, you know, throughout the day, and that way you'll avoid getting hungry and overeating. That really helps me out a lot.
So, okay, so all right, being smart about eating going into the year. How important is creating an exercise regimen at this point in the
Well,
day?
that's very important, you know. Now, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, diet has a higher impact on your weight loss or your weight maintenance than exercise, but exercise definitely helps. And the deal is, you don't want to just go and try to run 15 miles on the first day. You want to start slow. What I recommend, first, you know, talk to your medical provider, go get your physical, make sure you're safe. But if you are, start a walking program, you know, and maybe walk maybe a quarter to a half a mile for a week, maybe try to get up to 3/4 and maybe get up to a mile, but do it gradually over time and listen to your body. You know, if your knees hurt or your ankles hurt, it's a good idea to step back a little bit and make sure you're okay, and go get checked out, because a lot of people injure themselves by trying to do too much too quick, and then they end up not doing anything.
Well, you know, one thing that I would say from my own personal experience, I've been going to the courthouse, a racquetball club, for, 15 years, longer maybe, I don't know, a long time. And I go every morning early.
Okay.
I get up early. I try to, in the last few years, I've been trying to get up at about 4:30.
Wow.
And then leave the house about 5:30 and get there for 6.
Okay.
Maybe a little early, maybe get there at 5:30 some days.
Yeah.
But and then work out and get out of there at 7:30.
Okay.
But it becomes a part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you know, for guys who go to the gym every morning, even if some mornings you don't really work out very hard, it's still the process.
It's a routine.
It's a routine.
It's a routine, right? And I agree.
It's a lifestyle
And when
thing.
you don't go, you feel incomplete,
You
like
don't
you're
feel-
missing
you feel
something.
like you're missing
Now, you know I was
something.
going to call you, because I do work out at the courthouse, and I never seen you there, but I don't go in the morning.
You
I
go to the
in
Lakeland?
I go to the one in northeast Jackson.
Northeast. Okay, I'm at the Lakeland one.
Okay. I never seen you.
Yeah, I'm at the Lakeland.
But the
In the
bottom
morning.
line is, I agree. You know, you want to do, and another thing, you don't have to go in there for 15 hours. You know, I recommend
Right.
maybe 30 to 45 minutes a day,
Right.
and maybe 4 to 5 days a week. Take a couple of days off per week, and just go gradual. You know, because like I said, a lot of people overdo it, and they end up, just saying, forget it, I'm not going to do it anymore.
But you could get a trainer and work out with
Now,
the
that's a
trainer.
good idea.
Because the trainer really will kickstart you into the program.
Right.
A lot of times they have these boot camps. About 2 years ago, I did 2 13-week boot camps back to back.
Right.
13 weeks and did another 13 weeks. And that, I can honestly say, after the second 13 weeks, I was almost dead.
Right. Well, the thing is, the good thing
I
about
was
the
a walking
trainer,
zombie at that point.
No, but that's great because
muscles were hurting in places that I didn't know I had muscles.
That's good though. But you got to watch your body. But what I was going to say is when you do the trainer or the boot camp with other people, that's very motivational.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody that's just starting out, because if you start working out and you go in there by yourself and everybody's working and you're not used to it, you're not really going to know what to do. And that's very demotivational as well.
Right.
But if you get a buddy system going, you know, like I asked the lady the other day, why do you go to church? You can just sit at home and read the Bible. But you want to go to church so you can be with other Christians to encourage and worship together, because we're people that do better with other people.
Right.
So if you go to a gym and you're around people and then get into workout groups in the gym, it becomes like a little community. You know what I mean?
Like support mechanism.
Yeah, like I might go to the gym and not feel like working out. They're like, "What up, doc?" You know, and they're like, "Come on, man." You know, we push each other. You know,
absolutely.
And it's all fun. And you talk about the football game or whatever. Before you know it, you've had a great workout.
Well, yeah, you know, you see the same guys when we go to the gym. You know, I'm at the gym. I see the same guys for all these years.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a group, a band of brothers. You
Yeah,
know?
a band of
It's
brothers,
like
yeah.
friends. That you know, and so it is good. It's
and then for
support.
all those out there that might want to meet their husband or wife or whatever, you can meet somebody at the gym. At least they'll be in good shape.
I think about it sometimes. I was thinking, you know, folks who have never discovered working out, it's a wonderful thing to discover.
It really is. It changes your entire life. I mean, you have decreased stress.
Yeah.
You have increased energy.
Right.
You feel better. You look better. When you come to my office, I told a guy the other day, he really got into it last year, and he's lost a lot of weight and got in better shape, and now he's tapered off his blood pressure medicine. I said, man, you're going to put me out of business like that, because he's doing very well, and his medical conditions are being alleviated just by implementing the diet and exercise.
Right. Well, I know some people, you know, take different types of medication. I take zero.
Right.
I might take a Motrin sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't really need to take that. I don't
the
get
bottom
headaches.
line is, every time I go to the doctor, and I think I said this on your show before, he says, if all my patients were like you, Quinn, I'd be broke, man. So he says, when you leave, go through the back door. Don't go through the waiting room, and don't do a lot of talking, because he's just joking. But the bottom line is, exercise really does help a lot as far as that.
Okay, with that in mind, we've got a guest coming on after the break. Can you introduce our guest coming up?
Well, it's actually my brother, and we're going to show the audience some exercises you can do at home if you can't make it to the gym. And we've got some little gadgets together so you can lift weights using, well, I tell you what, everybody just needs to stay tuned in, and it's going to be a great segment.
So people can actually learn some things they can do at home. Okay, good. Okay, Dr. Quinn and his brother will be back, so stay with us. This is Nightique.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Stop paying expensive repair bills now. When you own a car, SUV, or truck, sooner or later it will break down, and that will cost you thousands of dollars. Just one transmission job could cost over $3,000. A new engine could cost over $4,000. Did you know that the odds of your car breaking down are greater than your being in an accident? You wouldn't drive without auto insurance. If you own a 2002 vehicle or newer with less than 125,000 miles, a vehicle service contract from CarTection.com could save you thousands of dollars. Qualifying is easy. A custom plan is created for you. You select the coverage that's right for your vehicle and budget. Call for a no-obligation risk-free quote now. Your covered repairs will be paid directly to your mechanic for you. Get the coverage you really need. A vehicle service contract from CarTection.com. We'll keep you on the road with a coverage you can count on. Call for a no-obligation risk-free quote now.
You belong here. Belong here.
Well, here we are with Dr. Quinn, and
Yeah.
Doc, you're going to actually give us some examples. Your brother,
Right.
Mr. Quinn, is here with us too.
Right.
And
Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to show some exercise you can do at home. Now, ideally, let's go to the gym because, like as I said, the gym you could go and exercise with other people, and it's very motivational. But some people might not have the transportation or time or the
Right.
resources to join a gym. So we're going to take it to the house and show you some things you can do at home to get that workout and get ready for this new year of health. How about
Okay.
that? All right.
so what have we got? What are we working
Well,
with?
what we're going to do is we're going to divide it up into different body segments. And we're going to start out with the arms. Now, the deal is with the arms, you want to have resistance. And if you don't have weights at home, we made some weights. What we did was we took these cartons and we filled them with water. Now, we're going to work the different parts of the arms. We're going to start out with the biceps, and we're going to do curls. All right, so let's go ahead and do about 3 curls each. Let's go 1.
So we can basically.
Oh yeah, and you want to come down slow with it. You know, you want to come slow and get that resistance. And maybe fill the carton with enough water so you get some really good resistance to do about 10 repetitions on each arm. And I suggest to do maybe 3 sets of 10 on each arm. And that's a good way to get it started to work those biceps. Now next we're going to do the triceps. And my brother David, he's going to push to the back, okay? And these are called extensions. And you're getting those triceps. You want to come on and come up to about a 90. We might have a little extra water in your jug, but that's okay. You gotta figure out what's the best weight for you. But at the same time, those triceps, can you feel that burn?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, excellent, okay. And last, we're gonna do the shoulders to finish off the arms. And we'll do like the extensions, you know, just come out to the side, and you want to do about 10.
For lats.
Right. Well, it's more the shoulders on
Shoulder.
that. You're doing that pull,
Yep.
but you get that broad shoulder, but you get that increased muscle mass, and that's really good. It burns fat, you feel good, you look good, and 2015 is going to be the year. Okay, so let's go on up. You want to do about 10, and then you know, figure out about how much weight you want to do for 10 to get that good resistance, and then you want to go to the front to build the other.
So
the front
let's
of the
talk
shoulder.
about reps and sets.
Right. Well, what I was saying is you want to do roughly about 10 repetitions.
So 10 exercises.
10 times or 10
10 times.
repetitions, and you want to do about 3 sets.
So you rest a minute and then do another 10.
Right,
And
I
rest
say
a minute and do another 10.
Well, rest for about maybe 3 to 5 minutes in between sets to just let your muscles just recuperate, and then you want to do it again, and I say about 3. You know, that way you get a really good workout. Okay, so we're going to put our jugs down. We worked those arms. I don't know if you'll be able to drive home today. Now next.
I'm about to faint now, Doc. You're putting us through it, Doc.
Oh yeah. Now next we're going to do the chest area, okay? The pectoral muscles. And my brother's going to get down. Now my brother and I, we were both in the military, okay? Hoorah! All right, let's go, baby. And we're going to do the push-ups. Now these are the traditional push-ups, and you want to go all the way down and go all the way up. And you don't really have to stick with numbers on this, okay? It's more you just want to do them till you can't do them anymore, or what we call it in the military is just burn it out. You know, just go. And
So
you know,
as many as you can do, and
as
just
many
keep
as
going
you can and
until
keep
you
going. And I suggest the same. Do 3 sets. So you want to just burn out. Now my brother, he probably could do like 100 of them. So we'll go ahead and stop right there, David. Okay. Now for those that are not quite as advanced to do the regular push-ups, you're gonna do the modified. Let's go ahead and do the modified. And notice on these he has his knees on the ground instead of his feet, and that takes some of the weight off. And for those that are just getting started, they can do them that way. Okay. And you know, he probably could do about 500 like that. So we'll go ahead and stop right there. And then for those that are just beginners, and I'm going to borrow this chair from you, we're going to do the assisted push-ups where, you know, you just kind of lean on the chair. You could do it on a, thank you there, we could do it on a tabletop. But the deal is it gives you a start, and you can work your way up to the, you know, the traditional push-up. And, you know, you want to do 3 sets of that. Now, that's for the chest. Next, you know, we're going to just move on to the abdominal area, okay? And, you know, you don't have the fancy gym, but you do have a towel in your home, I hope.
Towel, yeah.
Yeah, just lay it on the floor. My brother is going to show you the traditional sit-up for those abdominal muscles. Let's go, David. I'll tell you, I feel like I'm back in the military again. And for those, you don't really want to have a set number. You just want to do it until you can't do it anymore. So, you know,
So I do 100 in the morning at the gym, but I could probably do more. You would advise do more than 100, do it till you burn out?
Do it till you burn out. Do it till you can't do it anymore. All right, we'll go ahead and stop right there, David. And now he's going to do a couple of sets of crunches. Let's go. Now with the crunch, you're working a different part of your abdomen, and you're coming up and you get that burn, and same thing there. You know, just do it till you can't do it anymore. And what I suggest is 3 sets of burnouts of the traditional sit-ups.
3 sets of where you can't go anymore.
Right.
That's
then
tough.
3 sets of the crunch. Remember, we're going to rest about 3 to 5 minutes in between sets to let your muscles recuperate, so you can go ahead and do it one more time.
Well, I'm going to start this tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Because I've not been doing it right.
Now, for those that have back problems and things, let's go ahead and stand up, David. We have the oblique twist. Let's go ahead with the broom, and he's going to show you. And basically just come around. This is a good way to stretch. For those that are in really good shape, that have done like just, do that, and it really helps to, stretch those muscles out, okay?
Obliques.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. And then lastly, we're going to look at the legs, and we're going to do some squats. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move the towel out the way, and you're going to put it over your head, and you can go ahead and hold it on your neck, such as the bar. We don't have a gym, but we made a gym. We're going to come all the way down and all the way up. There you go. There you go. You see, you're working those legs real well and getting that workout in, and just want to burn out on it, just do it till you can't do it anymore. And that's the thing with these exercises. Just do it till you can't do it anymore, and that way you get that burn.
Well, Doc, we've talked about diet, we talked about exercise.
Yeah.
As always, we want to have you back soon.
Okay, yeah.
And David, thank you for coming. You're a great demonstration, and y'all look like Army guys up
Hey,
there.
we're
Y'all
ready,
must have
man.
been in the Army.
We might get back in the Army. Get
And
back
listen,
ready.
we will have you back soon, and thank you so much.
Hey,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on this edition of Nightique. See you next time.